Hey peeps, if you have not heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. First and foremost, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer, your laptop, or your pad. Anchor will then distribute these podcasts, no fee, everywhere. Spotify, Google, Apple Podcast, anywhere. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free app today, Anchor, Anchor, or go to Anchor, Anchor.fm to get started. You will have fun. Good day. Welcome to Rocking the Gray Matter with Doc Grigsby. That's me. This is where we will view the world through the lens of life and interaction, hopefully applying some common sense, empathy, and intelligent reasoning. The world is a crazy place. Let's explore it together. Good day to you. Welcome to Rocking the Gray Matter with Doc Grigsby. That's me. I hope all is well in your neighborhood. It is October 13th, 2020. A beautiful fall day. I hope all is well. I hope all is safe in your neighborhood. These last few weeks of teaching college for me have been a bit of a struggle, a bit of a challenge. Not necessarily because of the subject matter, not because of the digital technical aspects of which I'm fairly adept, but a struggle because I watch my students fail at meeting the challenges. No one signed up for this virtual environment. No one signed up for online classes. In fact, if you were to take a poll, many, probably the vast majority of students don't like online. They want that social component of student to student. They want that face-to-face interaction with their teacher. They just learn better. So that's the first and the one of the largest challenges that we have to overcome. But unfortunately, this is going to be a new normal for quite some time. So we just have to do it. We just have to do it and get through it and make the most of it and make it fun. But I also see them just overwhelmed. I mean, beyond belief overwhelmed and stressed to the point of paralysis in their academia. So this is a huge concern for all of us, for students and teachers alike. So what can help? Well, the title of this segment is going to be College Success and Emotional Intelligence. So we all want to know what is going to be that magic quality, that magic potion that's going to help students perform well in their studies. Now, assuming, keyword here, that we all have adequate resources, which we do not, but assuming that the resources are there, the digital component, the books, the quality course alignment, the good quality curriculum construction, the adequate, if not better than adequate, teacher proficiency. Now, all those are a lot to take in, and that's another whole topic. But nonetheless, if those things are there, then why is it that our students still struggle? So past research has told us that there are two personal qualities that are important for student success. The first one is obviously the cognitive ability to complete your assignments. The cognitive ability, I don't like the word intelligence, that's why I'm shying away from it. I don't even like that word. But the cognitive ability to be able to do your work, whatever work that may be. I mean, it has to happen. But the second quality is conscientiousness. Big old word right there. But it means being organized enough to remember your homework and to organize your notes, to organize your priorities. Ooh, Lord. This is where they fail. First time college freshman right out of high school. Maybe K through 12 wasn't great. Typically that's what I hear. Are now thrust into the adult world of college academia. Lots and lots of work, lots of demands and assignments and expectations. And now we're going to throw them in a digital Zoom world and expect them to be successful. So, there's this thing called emotional intelligence, which is just the best thing since sliced bread. I got turned on to emotional intelligence about 10 plus years ago from a book of the same name by a guy, his name was Daniel Goleman, Goleman, not Goldman, but Goleman. He's written several books, fantastic, changed my way of looking at academia. So emotional intelligence, by definition, is the ability to perceive, to use, understand, and manage emotions. Wow. And you think, well, why does that matter when you're taking a math test? Well, let's talk about that. First of all, we have to do just a little bit of anatomy, just a little bit of biology, just a little bit. Understand that these 17, 18, 19-year-olds coming into our college freshman classes are not fully cognitively developed yet. Let's just say they're not quite wired together, okay? In our prefrontal cortex, that part of our brain that sits behind your forehead, that's where all of the executive functions come in. That's where all of the logic, your personality, your ability to understand right from wrong, consequences, that's not wired yet, man. That's not even done. It's like a half-baked cake. Typically, we don't see this wiring, if you will, to come into effect until they're like 25 or 30, like post-bachelor's degree, right? Okay. Well, that's a problem right there. That is a big issue. So, what we know from research, yes, the infamous research, is that emotionally intelligent students get better exam results and better grades. Let me do that again since I messed that up. Emotionally intelligent students get better exam results and better grades. Okay, why? Why? Well, because they can manage, they can understand their emotions. Why is that important? Well, let's think about this. 3 reasons, really. The first, emotional intelligence helps students cope with emotions in the academic environment. Students feel anxious about exams. Students feel anxious about life. It is a fact, research tells us, so it must be, that over 60% of college freshmen in this country experience social anxiety. To the point of paralysis, to the point of not being able to show up for class, show up for work, do their exams, do their homework. We know that. So emotional intelligence helps students cope with emotions in the academic environment. Anxiety about exams. Perhaps they feel disappointed about the results of those exams. I can't tell you how many times my students tell me, I really thought I did a great job. But they get back and it was far less than great. Now, a lot of that has to do with their expectations. But nonetheless, it's still an emotion. So it makes them feel like crap. And then there goes their confidence. And then there goes the anxiety goes through the roof. They're frustrated. They think they're trying really hard, but they're not succeeding. They are bored to death when the subject matter is not interesting, and that's just about the vast majority of all the topics. You might have a student who says, ooh, I'm going to take an art class. That sounds really cool. I like to draw. And it's art history. They hate history. They find it boring and unintentional. Little do they know. But anyway, then they have to take things like, reading and math and English literature, and they have to write papers. And they just hate it. And now they're anxious because not only do they hate it, but they're not performing well. It's just a vicious, vicious circle. So being able to regulate these emotions so that they don't interfere with learning, ding, 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 helps students achieve. Second, emotional intelligence can help students maintain their relationships with teachers, students, and family. Well, now they're cooped up at the house with this social isolation thing with their family, so they're probably pretty tired of them. They don't get to see their friends that much, perhaps when they go out to work if they have to, but not like they used to, so that's a big thing. And they're not real big on this virtual because they feel as if they don't have a connection with their teacher. Now, a lot of that is the teacher's fault, but it's a two-way street. That digital screen that they're looking into is not the same as face-to-face. Maintaining those close personal relationships mean that they can call on their friends, they can, stay after class and ask their teacher a question, which they could still do, but they don't choose to. They learn from being in a social setting. There's a lot of stuff here that goes on with just those relationships. Third, things like humanities classes, histories, literatures, not psychology, thank you very much, even though it's a humanity, require some level of emotional and social knowledge. And I'll just go with psychology because there's a lot that goes on with psychology. I mean, life itself is psychology. You flip open your social media, I don't care what it is, and there is a psychological aspect involved. Life is psychology. But it is amazing things like universal themes and character development and social justice, and they just don't keep up with that sort of stuff. It requires a knowledge level that they choose not to have. So, there you go. So let's think about this. If they didn't have to become so anxious and frustrated, they could manage their emotions better, if they could corral those emotions when taking exams, studying for exams, participating in lectures via Zoom, yes. If they could feel comfortable enough and manage their emotions to have social interactions within the classroom on Zoom, yes, that's a possibility. If they felt confident enough that they could talk to their teachers, if they knew a little bit about life and what was going on around them and understood the importance of things like history and literature and psychology, if they could manage these emotions, if they could identify these emotions, it would make them a better student. So, how do we fix that? Well, there's a question, right? We know that if they have this emotional intelligence, that they process better, okay? So instead of reacting, that knee-jerk reaction of a bad grade of, oh my God, I'm stupid, instead of, oh, wait a minute, okay, let me step back and learn from this, and, okay, what did I do wrong? Okay, so next time I won't do that. If they could manage that emotion of boredom and try to find something interesting within the class, better yet, associate that within the class to something outside the classroom, instead of following some, how can I put this, some interesting individual on TikTok, maybe they should open up Twitter and read some informative tweets that deal with, you know, social issues and politics. They need to pick up these strategies, these helpful hints, because once they are able to regulate these emotions, manage these emotions, identify these emotions, it's going to not only make them a better human, but it's going to make them a better student, which is going to make them a better employee, which is going to make this planet, hopefully, better. So if all they do is focus on the negative, oh my God, I'm bored, I hate math, I suck at math, I bombed this exam, the teacher's so boring, I hate history. If all they do is focus on that, then they're what we call ruminating. They're just wallowing in this negativity, if you will. Okay? And if they keep feeding that, then it becomes their identity. So they need to find strategies that work, whatever it may be for that individual student. Teachers need to promote emotional intelligence. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I'll have a student say, yeah, I bombed that test, I was really stupid. No. We do not use that word in my classroom. You were unprepared. Perhaps you didn't understand the assignment. Perhaps you didn't do as well as you thought you did, but you're not stupid. Positive reappraisal. That comes from their family, that comes from their teachers, that comes from their fellow students, that comes from deep within. Knowing that they can do it, knowing that they just need to try harder. Now, being emotionally intelligent does not make someone emotional, you know, that cries at the drop of a hat and is super sensitive. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about that at all. We all know that person who drinks too much and they go out, or used to when we could, that drinks too much and makes an idiot of themselves and perhaps gets angry and picks a fight. We all know that person. Well, that is not emotional intelligence, because that person is not managing their emotions. We all have been there, maybe a bad breakup, and we decide to go out and have a few and drive around. That's not good emotional intelligence. We all see in our social media that people are angry and they riot and they destroy property, and that's not really managing their emotions. Not saying they don't have a reason, just saying it's not managing your emotions. So this is a thing that can work, but it's going to take everybody. It's going to take a support staff, parents, students, teachers, to understand that, for one thing, they're not quite wired yet, so they are having difficulty managing and understanding and even recognizing the emotions. But to help them build those connections to emotional intelligence, to not be so stressed and so bored and so frustrated to the point of academic paralysis. Now, this is much easier said than done, but it's something for us as professors and teachers to strive for, to continue to strive for, success with our students, whether it's K through 12 or college. Just my thoughts, peeps. You know me. As always, I wish you health and safety. Until next time.